Hi, and thank you for coming tonight. I'd like to talk to you about my song choice, which was Hudson by Vampire Weekend. And it tries to paint the picture of Henry Hudson's life through his dark, ominous tones, which really goes about Henry's ultimate demise. You know, each and every one of us has an opportunity to make their mark in this world. For Hudson, it was discovering the new. And his name is associated with some of the most important geographical regions in the United States and some parts of Canada. So, to begin, I'd like to start with points that were found in the Encyclopedia Britannica with contributing author John Edwards Caswell. For Hudson to begin, it was really the times in which he lived in that everybody was driven to find and discover the new, whether that be a place, in Henry Hudson's case, a river and a valley and a bay. This Hudson's first initial journey started with to discover a passage by the North Pole to Japan and China. Again, for land, for goods, new trade opportunities. Henry Hudson started out with the Muscovy Company of London. British expeditions. British wanted more. Everybody wanted more at the time. For Hudson, each journey was difficult. He had a total of 4. Each one met with the harshest of wintry conditions, each more brutal than the last. As noted in the New World Encyclopedia, talking about the time at which Henry Hudson sailed, it was at the height of imperialism, that drive that everybody wanted to find the new. Although Henry started out with the Muscovy Company, that deep competitive nature of the time led him to take his 3rd journey with the Dutch East India Company, pardon me. That journey is where he discovered what is now known as the Hudson Valley region. But as noted, Hudson didn't have a great journey, and he did not return to Amsterdam, where he was originally set out for. He returned to England. This was not met very kindly, and there was a battle dispute about who had rights to what he discovered, since technically Henry Hudson didn't stay with his contract with the British and kind of fled over to Amsterdam. Ultimately, he did go back with the English, and that's where he sailed his 4th and final voyage. Now, as I noted before, these voyages were very difficult and trying, especially with the conditions. Not only was it bitterly cold, but resources were limited. And as noted in Canada's history, this is the 90th issue, written in 2010 and 11, found also on their website. Hudson had many difficulties with his cruise, even on previous journeys, but it was the final that, in opposition to Hudson's unrelenting need to keep on with the journey, his crew disagreed, and therefore set Hudson, his son, and 7 sick crew members adrift onto the water in a small boat, and that was on the very waters for which he's named. So, ultimately, we don't know, there's still much to be known about Henry Hudson, but what we can surmise, especially based off of the tone of A Vampire Weekend song, is that he was a dreamer. And sometimes you have to dream big in order to succeed, to make your mark. Henry Hudson may not have gotten credit during his life, but his name lives today, even at the bar across the road. Thank you.